make this dish up. This one here is going to burn your mind the F up. Let me cook. You don't like motivation. You like understanding. This isn't motivation. This isn't religion. This isn't theology. This is human operating analysis. This is structure. Consciousness follows structure, and structure follows laws. Picture this. A man given a powerful compass. It always points north. It always tells him where to go. What, where, who, how, Uncle Willie? You may ask. Say less. At first, the compass guides him safely through forests and deserts. It saves his life. But one day, he discovers magnets. Small ones, shiny ones, attractive ones. He places them near the compass because he likes how they look. Now you're like, how is that supposed to help me, Uncle Willie? What does it even mean? Pause. Slowly, the needle begins to drift. Not enough to notice at first. Just slightly off. Days later, he's lost. Weeks later, he is exhausted. Months later, he blames the world for being confusing. Ninja, the problem was never the compass. The problem was what he placed beside it. The fact of the matter is, the first commandment is about this exact danger. Not false gods made of stones, but distractions powerful enough to redirect the human soul. Welcome y'all to UncWilly'sKitchen, Kitchen, and this is The Sickest Path. I'm your host, UncWilly. The first biblical commandment, no other gods, is not what you think it is. Welcome to the kitchen. This is a 10 commandment deep dive, the human foundation, where we decode the ancient laws or the human operating system shaping your reality one principle at a time. Let me cook. We are the most advanced generation in human history. We carry infinite information in our pockets. We can become anything, be anyone, go anywhere. And yet, anxiety is rising. Our attention is fractured. Maybe the question isn't what we believe anymore. Maybe the question is what we worship without realizing it. Thousands of years ago, the first commandment began with a warning. You shall have no other gods before me. Today, we are not talking about religion. We are talking about identity, addiction, and the invisible forces shaping your life. To the commandment review. For many modern listeners, this sounds ancient, religious, distant, but psychologically, this may be the most modern commandment of all. 3. What does it mean, Uncle Willie? You may ask. I got you. The first commandment establishes priority. Before laws about behavior, relationships, or society, it addresses orientation. What stands in the center of your life? Where was it found, Uncle Willie? You may ask. I got you. The commandment emerges in the wilderness, a people freshly freed from slavery's stand between past oppression and unknown freedom. No government, no institutions, no structure, only choice. We already know that according to biblical tradition, delivered by God, received by Moses, given to former slaves, learning how to live freely. Freedom, history shows, is dangerous without direction. Why, Uncle Willie? You may ask. I got you. Because humans inevitably organize their lives around something. If you remove God, something else will take place. The commandment assumes a radical truth. Humans are not worshiping beings by choice. We are worshiping beings by nature. The only question is, what receives your devotion? 4. the hidden psychology, identity, and addiction. Modern culture says you are independent. You answer to nobody. You are completely free. But look deeper. What ruins your mood instantly? What determines your worth? What do you fear losing the most? That is your functional God. Today's idols rarely look spiritual. They look like productivity, social validation, money, romantic approval, political identity, personal image. Addiction begins when identity attaches to an external source of meaning. The brain learns, without this, I'm nothing. And suddenly, freedom becomes dependence. The first commandment is not about divine ego. It is about protecting human identity from fragmentation. 5. Misconception. This commandment demands blind worship. In reality, it confronts misplaced devotion. Every culture has gods, even secular ones. Success, fame, influence, control. The commandment asks, are you serving something that can actually sustain you? Modern people don't worship. We do. We just renamed worship as ambition, lifestyle, brand identity, personal optimization. The ritual changed. The impulse didn't. Idolatry is ancient suspicion. Ancient idols were visible. Modern idols are psychological. That makes them harder to recognize. 6. Modern translation. If rewritten today, the commandment may sound like this. Do not build your identity on something temporary, because temporary foundations create permanent anxiety. When career becomes God, expect burnout. When relationship becomes God, expect depression. When approval becomes God, performance replaces authenticity. The commandment is a warning against existential instability. It invites alignment with something deeper than trends, algorithms, or comparison. 7. Application. This week, try this exercise, the identity audit. Ask yourself, what do I check first every morning? What failure scares me the most? What success do I believe would finally make me enough? Write the answers honestly. You may discover what quietly sits at the center of your life. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. The first commandment isn't about limiting freedom. It's about protecting it. Because whatever defines your worth eventually directs your life. Ancient wisdom understood something we are discovering today. Humans cannot live without meaning. When meaning disappears, we manufacture substitutes, and those substitutes slowly become masters. The question isn't whether you worship. The question is whether what you worship can hold the weight of your existence. Thank you all for watching. This channel is for people ready to understand themselves deeply. If this resonated, you are exactly who this series is for. I suggest you like, share, comment, subscribe for more metaphysics and esoteric philosophy content. We are rebuilding ancient wisdom for modern minds. Till next time, my friends. Till next time, nephew. This is The Seeker's Path.